Let me see. Is there a can we revive it though, or do we have to wait? So we're on now.
Oh thank God.
All right. Continue what you were saying, Eli.
Okay. Well. Okay. What I was saying was that I still haven't seen a Troll in Central Park, and I was letting you guys say what you had to say on Troll in Central Park.
Right.
Yeah, I think we got a pretty decent amount of material before he left.
Okay.
So, what's next?
Let me see. Oh yeah, the Pebble and the Penguin.
Yeah.
Wasn't one of them named Flipper?
Flipper.
Hey, I for some reason I remember there being a character named Flipper.
That I'm thinking of the dolphin Flipper.
I don't know. Every time I think of movie and penguin, I think of like the cute shit. Unless you count Penguins of Madagascar.
Yeah. Well, no, because so nobody has anything to say on the Pebble and the Penguin.
Never seen it.
From what I can remember, the film was with I remember watching Pebble and the Penguin through Nostalgia Critics Review. It's something to do with main season. Yeah, main season. Then I guess had to get some Pebble thing, whatever, for his significant other, and then you got Then I don't know who's the main antagonist Penguin is, but apparently he's being voiced by Tim Curry.
Yeah. Martin Short is the main character, of course.
Yeah. And a freaking weird what if Morgan Freeman thing from Nostalgia Critic.
Sure.
Again, is it kind of weird to say that of all of these bad or these downfall era Don Bluth films, that Pebble and the Penguin to me is at least one of the more okay ones. Like, it's a guilty pleasure to me. I don't know. I just think Pebble the Penguin's not that bad of a film, even if it's in that era of Don Bluth films.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, apparently when the film was first released, let's just say some people were kind of complaining about the Pebble and the Penguin's animation, animation areas.
Yeah, like their bottoms were like erased or something, and some of the penguins were not even moving at all.
Yeah, because apparently Dom, I don't know if it was the company or whatever, but something to do sending the rest of the animation down to some South Korean studio or something.
Yeah. But at the time of the Pebble and the Penguin, they were approached by two heads at Fox, to work at I guess consider working at Fox Animation, and Don and Gary, they didn't want to do it, and they rather stayed to work on Pebble and the Penguin. But when MGM asked for the big changes to the film, and according to Animat, because they were like, what, let's ditch the Penguin and go with the Phoenix, and thus Don and Gary Oldman, they went off and because they helped create a new animation studio at Fox, Fox Animation, and thus Don Bluth Studios went major downhill and closed its doors after the release of the Pebble and the Penguin. Many of the animators, stayed with Don Bluth, but others let him go, including John Pomeroy, who was very close with working with Don and Gary Oldman. So the trio was just down to two, and thus Don and Gary, they would go off to make their next animated film, this time at Fox, which of course being Anastasia, which this was the comeback for something that they made and directed becoming a success. So if anybody has anything to say on Anastasia, go ahead.
I actually like for the fact that this was Don Bluth's comeback film. Well,
yeah, that's what it was.
Well, sadly though, the only comeback film.
Yeah.
I actually do like some of the music that appeared in this. Some of the music that was in this film. My most favorite happened to be "In the Dark of the Night."
Yeah, that's my favorite. That song I know very well, and that'd be my favorite.
Wait, that's what with Rasputin, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and Jim Cummings is the singing voice of Rasputin.
Yeah, and he did so well at mimicking the voice of Christopher Lloyd that almost no one knew until it was pointed out.
Just like how he mimicked Jeremy Irons' voice in half of Be Prepared.
Yeah, apparently Jeremy Irons did do half of the song, then probably somewhere his voice gave out, so they put Jim Cummings in, and the transition was so freaking smooth.
Yeah, because I can tell, and this was perfect, because right up to when it's still Jeremy Irons, because when he says "You won't get a sniff without me," after that line, it was all Jim Cummings singing the rest of the song, and that was perfect. Because that was when because how Scar said the words "You won't get a sniff without me," because that was Jeremy Irons. He was like shouting it, and then thus Jim Cummings doing the rest. It was perfect.
I mean, obviously his voice would give out after that line. Imagine, if they didn't put Jim Cummings in there, he tried to sing the rest of it, but the bats were like, "Be prepared for the coup of the
century!" Yeah. So his voice actually did give out, I guess.
I mean, it would if it did. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, yeah. So Jim Cummings was good at mimicking Jeremy Irons and Christopher Lloyd. The thing is, okay, Jeremy Irons did sing half of Be Prepared, but for In the Dark of the Night, Christopher Lloyd didn't sing any of that. After Christopher Lloyd as Rasputin said a little bit of a couple of lines before starting to sing, well, the singing from beginning to end, it was all Jim Cummings. And the fact that, because if we all remember Nostalgia Critic's top 11 video of top 11 villain songs, he put that a bit higher, it was, I think, maybe number 6 or 5, but you all would remember that it was in his top 11 video.
I remember it was also in top 11 fuck-ups because he didn't even know it was Jim Cummings at the time.
Yeah, well, that too, yeah, because, in his top 11 villain songs, he mistaken, Jeremy Irons for singing Be Prepared entirely, and Christopher Lloyd singing In the Dark of the Night, so that's when in his, was it his first or second top 11 F-ups, of that?
One of the two, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but douchey McNickpick, because he's, because that was Jim Cummings singing both Be Prepared and In the Dark, yeah. So I almost forgot about that because that being in one of the top 11 F-ups, but also is there anything okay, one thing I will say of Anastasia, okay, because I have seen the film before. I do remember watching it on Disney Plus a few times. And it, of course, I can't deny, it's great. It's a great animated film, and as you said, Digi, at the time, Don Bluth's comeback, just for that one film as of now, one thing that's cool that's in that film is that this was the comeback of matte paintings that hadn't been done since the late 50s, I want to say, and let me see. Yeah, David Newman had done the music and score for this, and coincidentally, and according to Animat, David Newman's dad, Alfred Newman, did the music and score for a live-action version of Anastasia. I think back in the 1950s or something. I think, and not to mention, I think if we all know that, there was a directive sequel that I guess focused on that white bat. You know,
Bartok the Magnificent, I think it was called.
Yeah. So, but is there anything else we have to say on Anastasia?
Not at this point in time, from what I'm saying.
Okay, so I guess we can move on now. This time, still as of now, Dom's best current animated film, which being Titan AE.
Oh my god.
I've never heard of it.
It's infamous for being Don Bluth's last film because, oh boy.
Yeah.
Because of what? Because of how terrible it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I'll admit, it is kind of cool Don Bluth wanted to try to do a sci-fi film, but the way how it's executed, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure this movie tried its very best, but yeah, I guess unfortunately it didn't do so well. And not to mention, because like it got mixed reviews, and not to mention it would confuse audience whose movie this is. On one hand, and according to Animat, it was written by the same writers who written like popular shows at that time, The Tick and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And on the other hand, it was directed by the same guys who directed, films like Land Before Time and An American Tale, of course, Don Bluth and Gary Goldman. There's interesting things that happened in this film, like its visual effects and everything else. Like they didn't do motion capture or anything like that. They did something a bit similar to like what would be done in motion capture, like using actual like props, like cutting half the jet ski, and like people like being, I guess, reference models for the characters. I could go on. So
Right.
Yeah.
For some reason, it sounds like rotoscoping.
Yeah, I think maybe rotoscoping's in there, I want to say.
Yeah, because I don't know what all films use rotoscoping, but I do know one famous one, not really a Don Bluth one, but I do know one that was famous for rotoscoping, Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
There was also Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Rings, but
yeah, that too. And the Fire and Ice film, as I recall, like that one too.
Yeah. Rotoscoping, for those unfamiliar, is like you film all the bits you want in the film live action, and then you draw over each frame with an animation cell as a reference.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gives a sense that there's like real life to the characters because you recorded real life actors for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And and after that, because that was it for Don and Gary Oldman for now, and they were even offered to do Ice Age, but because the Fox Animation Studio was closing down, they both refused, and the project for Ice Age was given to the people at Blue Sky Studios, and would be turned into the film as we know it. And ever since then, because Don and Gary Oldman, they've still been they still work, but it's not been in movies. Like, according to Animat, at the time when he made Animation Look Back of Don Bluth, because they had, Don created a website, he released a series of books and receiving awards, and even as of now, I guess, like, he's been going on like planning to make a comeback to make films, and as we were saying earlier, a Kickstarter for Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair in the movie.
But yeah, basically, Titan AE was just his last film in general for a long time. Now there's this Dragon's Lair movie that's still in development.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I can forgive. I mean, if it is in development, I can forgive it taking so long because it's a crowdfunded movie. They're not gonna get that. They're not gonna get as far as finishing the movie on crowdfunding alone. Because unless you make like 5 times your goal, you're probably just gonna reach out to other people to fill in the rest. Like, the other reason the Angry Video Game Nerd movie existed just on crowdfunding was because it smashed its goal like 6 times over.
Right.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else we have to say on like Don Bluth?
He has a really good sense of humor, and like the fact that he was actually able to be there with Nostalgia Critic and talk about his work on Dragon's Lair was kind of mind blowing.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, I feel like, we've just about come to the end of talking about Don Bluth and so on. Like, are we just about finished? And any last words on Don Bluth?
I'll just say that I'm just kind of glad the guy did what he did with films and whatnot, even if some of those films were not that entirely great.
Yes. He's an animation legend, and hopefully, like the stuff that he did, his genius will live on not only through the stuff he did, but also the animation geniuses that come after him. All right, so that's it for SmackDown, I guess.
And Don Bluth was because my last words, I agree too. Don Bluth is an animation legend, and a legend, I should say, in the animation industry. He turned out some films like that were good, but some of them were bad as well. Because his passion, you can tell, and the fact because people had mistaken his films for being Disney films. Not to mention they made test audiences for Thumbelina think they were watching a Disney film because by inserting the Disney logo for Thumbelina. And according to Animat, because the test audiences said that they liked that Disney film, and but because from him being an ex Disney animator to making his own career of animation, he made animation history for sure. And in closing, for me, Don Bluth, he's still a legend and still with us. So there you go.
Yes. Okay, so from this moment on, Raw and SmackDown are going to be pre-recorded because DSim needs a break and my internet stinks. But I will tell you what's ahead. The next Raw will feature me playing a putt-putt game. And the next SmackDown will be about PlayStation? Am I reading that right?
It's about Chris and Chris Miller and what's his face?
The freaking the other things. Who changed the schedule? Let me look. Bill Lord and Christopher Miller, the people that did a bunch of random animation stuff.
Yep. As you said, Digi, like the Lego guys, the Lego movie guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now that you know what to expect, and I'm just now learning about this shit, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, and DSim cut.
Bye-bye. See you next time.
Yeah.
My God.
Wait until he says we're done before you say anything that might get you in trouble. I gotta tag him. Oh, frick. Hold on.